It is for this reason that we will place on the table today many of the controversial issues which have been troubling us for some time, and ask you to give us your honest and frank opinion as well as your suggestions on the way forward. We've heard the Chamber President, who has placed some very controversial issues before us already. For example, he mentioned a moment ago that there is an increase in property for resale in our real estate market. The cause, crime. But is this really only crime? Is it not because of the global recession that people who have two homes, one here and one abroad, are now putting one up for sale because of that situation? So we need to discuss these things. Of course, there has been the mention of the marginalization of the local private sector. But we've heard Mr. Parry, Premier Parry of Nevis, indicate how the local private sector has been buttressed and has been supported. And we can also, of course, claim the similar situation here on the island of St. Kitts. So these issues need to come to the fore for our discussion. Indeed, we must progressively enhance the capacity of the economy to deliver improved standards of living for our people by ensuring that our own fiscal and debt situations are stabilized so that we can provide an environment which is conducive to growth and development in both the public and private sectors. Fostering a culture of excellence that will enhance the competitiveness of the goods and services which we produce is also very critical. These key elements of development are fundamental to our continued survival and progress as a nation. And we simply cannot entertain any compromise. I therefore urge that you focus your interventions on these very weighty issues and on any other modernization issue which you deem critical to the reform agenda of this government, your government of St. Kitts and Nevis. With respect to our fiscal performance, which we are aware is a primary concern of our social and economic partners, I must report that there was some contraction in economic activity back in 2009, and this has continued into the first half of 2010 this year. Real GDP growth was estimated at a negative 9.6% in 2009. And this was attributable to declines in construction, declines in tourism, in manufacturing, and also in agriculture. The central government's fiscal performance in 2009, compared with the projections, showed mixed results. While recurrent revenue as a whole underperformed, there were some areas where favorable variances were recorded, such as taxes on income, stamp duty, and telecommunications licenses. Other categories, such as import duty, the Island Enhancement Fund, and consumption tax, did not fare as well. On the expenditure side, recurrent expenditure came in at some $6.9 million below the budgeted amount, with interest payment being the main contributor to savings. The recurrent account surplus of some $9.8 million was $3.3 million more than that was budgeted. That is the 6.5 that was budgeted, 6.5 million that is. The overall balance recorded a surplus of some $20 million, compared with a projected surplus of $37 million. These, ladies and gentlemen, are just a few highlights of the fiscal performance. You will be provided with more detail in the substantive presentation on this particular subject. I must emphasize that despite these somewhat mixed results, we remain optimistic. Optimistic that with careful handling and adherence to strict fiscal guidelines, we shall be able to strengthen our fiscal position over the short to medium term. In fact, later this afternoon, I would be engaged with my counterparts from the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union in a Monetary Council meeting. And we should be looking, of course, at the targets that we are setting ourselves in medium term and, of course, long term. These targets are mainly for 2010 to 2030. We continue to plan realistically because we believe with confidence that things will turn around. I would now like to close my remarks by once again expressing how very pleased I am that you have seen it fit to be present at this very important forum, where we will discuss the strategic reform agenda of our government. I trust that you will make every use of this opportunity, the opportunity to contribute to the national debate on the way forward for this our proud nation. And at the end of the discussion, I hope that we will be all able to say that it was good for us to be here. We wish for you to leave here with confidence. Confidence in yourselves as individuals. Confidence in yourselves as stakeholders today at this forum. Confidence in yourselves as members of the private sector and business community. Confidence in ourselves as proud nations of this blessed country, St. Kitts and Nevis, that we call home. God bless you. Thank you.